You can carry out Domino's large 3-topping pizzas and now Domino's handmade pan pizzas for $7.99 each.
This thing is right now. What's up, YouTube? So there's this trend going on where you take aluminum foil and you roll it up together, you hammer it down, and then you sandpaper it and you make this amazing polished aluminum foil ball. So today I am going to be attempting the aluminum foil ball. So let's just get right to it. You have some aluminum here, and what you want to do is crumple it as hard as possible, making it tight and compact. Grab some hammers, kind of just like ball it and make it as tight as possible. This is a square. We just gotta keep doing this about like 200 more times until we get the right ball. I think it'll be just a lot simpler if you take a whole bunch of aluminum foils here, roll it up together, and then take a hammer and smash it. And put this right in the middle there. I can already tell this is going to take a long time. It's looking really nice right now. I mean, it looks pretty compact. This is pretty cool. Like, who would have known aluminum foil would go this viral, right? We're just gonna wrap this whole thing around multiple times. I think that's the key here. Just keep wrapping that circle as many times as possible, okay? By the way, I have my friend Plank here. He's gonna help me out so I don't damage the table. I'll just damage him instead, you know? Keep rolling that aluminum foil paper up. You want to use the whole thing because you want it to go as crazy hard as possible. So I'm just going to encapsulate this using the whole entire roll, and we're going to see how big it gets. Here we go. I didn't realize how much aluminum foil is in aluminum foil wrap. This is getting insanely big, dude. What is happening? Look how big this thing is right now. Oh, that was it? Are you kidding me? One aluminum foil wrap contains this much aluminum foil, which is just kind of mind-blowing. I did not know that at all. Thanks, Reynolds Wrap, not sponsored. For the fun parts, let's see how small I can make this giant aluminum wrap. So I'm just gonna just... Wow, what a huge difference this thing made. It was this big. With a couple of hammers, it just made it a lot smaller. That's crazy. Man, I'm just getting a workout doing this. I am sweating. This is like rock solid now. Check this out, ready? See? Oh man, this thing is really compact. It's getting tight. It's been about 15 minutes of hammering and I got it down to this. It's not a sphere. I don't know what this is, but it's pretty cool though. Alright, you know how this works. I'm just gonna keep wrapping it. I wanna make the biggest aluminum ball, so we're gonna try to make the biggest one ever. So here we go. Alright, it's looking okay. It's not necessarily a sphere yet. You know how to do it. We're just gonna add a lot more until we get an actual sphere here. So here we go. This is as spherical as I can get it. Can you see my sweat glands? I've been hammering away for about like an hour now. This thing really does take a lot of time. So if you have like an hour or two to kill, do it. And we still haven't started the whole sanding process. Let's get some sandpaper and sand this baby up. All right, so I have some sanding paper here. Really quickly, all you gotta do is just sand it until it makes a really nice polished sphere. Now, luckily I have this sanding machine where it goes like, but I gotta be careful because I don't want to slice my hands right here, so I gotta be really, really careful here. This is gonna take a while, I already know. Oh my gosh, this is gonna take a long time. Alright guys, so I just realized if I continue to pursue this thing, probably gonna take me like 312 hours to complete. We're gonna do it over. We're gonna make the scale a lot smaller. So I already started making this little ball here. So we're just gonna make a smaller one, like a really small one. Not a really small one, but a lot smaller than that. That's gonna be a pain. So I'm just gonna wrap this last layer here. And you can see how much it is compacting. It's just so dense. Here is the hard part, the most time-consuming part. Yeah, so I can just do this instead, and we'll just keep doing it until it's like fully polished. So here we go. Okay, you can kind of see it a little bit shining here from just a little attempt. So we're just gonna keep doing this. All right, guys, I've been doing this for about I don't know, a good 10 minutes, and I don't know what happened. It's not a circle anymore, but if you guys can look closely, it's a little bit more polished. This thing takes a lot of time.
For entertaining guests, always offer a generous pour. Whoops! I over-generous. I'll just use one of these plush Vanity Fair extra absorbent napkins to clean it up.
With the hydraulic press. But before I do that, first let's test the density of it. Okay, today I'm going to be taking the Japanese aluminum foil ball challenge. So this is a challenge that I've seen floating around the internet these last few days. So I wanted to make one myself and see if I could actually make a solid ball of aluminum. And then I can test the density of it, and then finally I'm going to crush it in my hydraulic press and see if it crushes as though it's a solid block or a solid ball of aluminum. So let's go ahead and get one made. Okay, first let's get my ball. Okay, here's my aluminum ball. Now let's see if I can pound it down into a spherical shape first. Okay, we're getting there. This is already working better than I thought it would. It's looking pretty spherical, it's getting solid through the core, and it's getting actually shiny without even polishing it yet. Okay, now I'm just gonna sand this for a while with some water. Okay, now I'm using 1000 grit sandpaper. Then finally, I'll polish it up. Okay, here's my final product, a shiny aluminum ball. This is awesome. It's just a shiny sphere of aluminum now. with the hydraulic press. But before I do that, first let's test the density of it to check if it's as solid aluminum or not. Okay, first let's get the mass of it, then we'll get aluminum now. So what I want to do with it is I want to crush it in my hydraulic press, and I want to see if it crushes as though it were solid aluminum, or I can reduce the volume of it more with the hydraulic press. But before I do that, first let's test the density of it to check if it's as solid aluminum or not. Okay, first let's get the mass of it, then we'll get the volume of it and take the mass divided by the volume. That should be our density. Okay, we got 51 grams. Okay, now let's get our volume here. So our water line is right at 500 milliliters. Let's see how much it increases. It floats. So I'm pretty sure that's lighter than aluminum already. Okay, but let's still go ahead and measure the full volume here. Gotta get it all the way under the water. That's about an increase of 60 milliliters. Okay, so I measured my density to be around 51 grams divided by 60 milliliters, which is around 0.85 grams per milliliter. And the actual density of aluminum is 2.7 grams per milliliter. So this is a little less than half as dense as real aluminum. So this is kind of cool because it looks and feels like a solid metal ball, but it floats on water. It's really neat. So this is about half as dense as a solid ball of aluminum. Let's crush it now and see how small we can actually get it. Okay, Japanese aluminum foil ball in the hydraulic press. Man, I worked so long on this. I hate to crush it, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Okay, aluminum foil ball, 3, 2, 1. Oh, it's crumbling apart. Oh. So that had a lot of room to keep getting flattened. Let's see what it looks like. So I should measure the density of it now, see if we got closer to solid aluminum. Okay, now to get the density of this, instead of just measuring the volume with water, since I have a flat circle here that is 7 centimeters in diameter and around 0.7 centimeters thick. Just use pi r squared times the thickness and we get around 27 milliliters of volume here, and our weight was 51 grams. So we're at around 1.9 grams per milliliter. So that's a lot closer to solid aluminum. So it still has some empty space in there because we're not quite to the density of aluminum, but it's pretty darn close. It's feeling a lot more hefty now, a lot